Well, welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal weekend. Sorry I haven't been doing a lot of the videos myself here. I want to thank Ziad, who's been, kind of coordinating with me, checking in with me, some of the messaging, some of the things I wanted to share with you guys from afar here. But since I got back from Italy, won that 33rd real money trading competition over there a few weeks ago, things have been insane being over there for a whole week. Speaking engagements, meetings. Of course, we got so many big things getting ready to be released for WealthCharts. There's just we got the upcoming summit. We have so many incredible things that are coming out. Losing that week over in Italy, it was great winning the trading competition, but losing that week felt like I just lost 3 weeks, and I've been making up. So just trying to spend time with my mastermind group, doing a little private event for them, and trying to get videos for them and things of that nature, and making sure all these wonderful, exciting tools that are coming out are ready for you guys. So as we go ahead and take a look, though, it's really important to follow up on a couple things. And I sat down for just a moment, like, what would I like to go ahead and share with the group? And I'm like, I could sit here on this chart right here for over an hour and just share every little detail about this chart and whether you are a day trader of futures, a short zero DTE options trader, a swing options trader, a swing equity trader. There's something for everybody in this video here, because it all kind of ties together with all these different strategies I teach. Speaking of the summits, like at the summits, the same things I'm teaching you at the summits are the same things that are playing out in these markets right now. And so it's so important to understand these concepts. So we don't have an hour here, so what I'll just do is try to hit just a few highlights of what we've been talking about, where we're at, what we're looking at next. Okay, so armed with all this information, first things first, on the SPY, you'll recall that Ziad shot a video for you earlier in the week because we had this these inverse IRBs. They're the inventory retracement bars, but they're the reverse kind, the reverse IRBs. And so what we were looking to do, and that's why I had Ziad put that out in the video, is break above those. We break above those, that can go ahead and lead to big moves, because what you effectively have is a short-term kind of coiling here, right? So in a couple of different ways. First, the market was pulling back, taking a breath, which it desperately needed. It needed that for a couple of reasons. Number one, because we were making higher highs, but we were starting to kind of lose some energy here. So it needed to pause to refresh. Well, then when it refreshed, it went ahead and did so with 2 reverse inventory retracement bars pulling back into, my resumption area, right? Look what happened. It held my champion trend. It held my champion channel there. It went ahead and pulled back into the champion cross. That's this whole, section here. Excuse me, it pulled right back into this and then broke back up above my speed lines with the reverse IRBs. And so basically breaking above that level is an incredible opportunity for at least a quick explosion back to the upside. Again, phenomenal whether you're a zero DT options trader, a day trader of futures, or you're going ahead and looking to get a quick explosive move on one of your favorite options trades. So the what happens here is the way you want to look for this is when you have, like in this case, the daily chart. This is again of the SPY. You have the daily chart there, and then you go ahead and you have the hourly charts already. Everything is bullish here, right? Just like I teach you all the time. Champion trend pack was bullish. You had my ITP indicators firing off, ITP throttling fire off. My TRP indicators were looking gorgeous there as well. I mean, everything was just about as good as it could possibly be on the daily and the hourly chart. So when you start breaking above that level that we were identifying for you, that's where you can get that explosive move very quickly, right? And that's what happened. In fact, if we flip it over to the future side of it, you can see it there as well. That's the beauty. That's why I like to look at the futures too, given that more complete picture kind of helps with some of the gapping issues and everything else, and allows you to see things. In fact, you look at the NASDAQ futures here, you'll see you actually had 3 reverse inventory retracement bars building up there, and then we broke above that level and then wow, right? Now, this was all preceded in the backdrop by a couple of different things that I teach you at these different classes, right? And so first of all, we had throttling, we had, TRP, we had the stochastic spike 2.0s firing off. And so, and those ones are like only in WealthCharts, right? And so those were firing off there, leading to the moves here in both places. You can see that on the hourly charts there as well. And so when you have these kind of things, throttling, you have TRPs, you have champion trend packs, so many of the different things in the champion trend pack firing off there, a couple ITP things in the middle there as well. Everything's firing off, and we're breaking above those levels that we identified in the nightly video, which is why it's so important to watch these videos to understand where we're thinking and what kind of areas that we're looking for to break through so that we can try to find those explosive moves, because a day like this the other day can make up for several days where you shouldn't go ahead and be trading from our perspective. For instance, on Friday morning here, look what Friday morning, we were trying to build the daily chart was looking good, the hourly chart was looking good, but then we had the economic reports come out, and that completely destroyed with what we call technical damage, and where it broke through the tops to the bottoms of some of the key support levels, and then it turned right around and went back right up above it too. And that's the whole point of technical damage. Once you break through those key supports, you can't trust them now either way. It's effectively now it becomes a statistical nightmare. It's a 50-50 toss-up. You want nothing to do with that trade there unless you're literally trying to trade a sideways. That's the only benefit there. You expect that you're going to have whipsaws. You're not looking for a good quality trend. You're not trying to jump into a high quality 0DT option or a short-term option play or a short-term futures trade that you're trying to get directionally going, like we were looking at from the perspective of the other day, right? Where it's like, okay, no, the hourly chart is, in our favor here. The daily chart is in our favor and making new signals breaking out. These little white bars here, remember, these are, when they're white like that, those are potential divergences. When we break above potential divergences, that can, so in other words, when the sell doesn't sell, right, that's when it's a potential, and it breaks above that, that means it's a failed divergence. A failed divergence is one of the most powerful signals out there, and sure enough, it broke above that, and so look what it did. It tore off to the upside. An incredible opportunity to make several days money, opportunity, profits. These are all potentials. Now, of course, if you do something like fall into the risk of it's the end of the world as we know it, I'm just going to short this thing up, then you've had a real rough time, the last several months, really all year, right? And so we have to be mindful to that point of what's going on in the world. There's a lot of bad stuff. In fact, we've got another divergence happening on the daily charts, both on, as you can see, the NASDAQ here, but also the S&P, right? So what do I want to do? Do I want to take on fresh longs just yet there at those levels? No, because the hourly chart's locked in a short side. That's why it's red there. And so it's been pulling back on the SPY. And the daily chart's got potential divergences here as well. So unless we start breaking above those, not just gapping above, but actually breaking above those and starting to trade above those, I'm not really interested in fresh longs again when you see the divergences, unless we start breaking and trading above them like I was showing you just a moment ago. That would be very interesting because then you can get continuations. But there's a lot going on in the world, right? We've got Russia, we've got China, we've got the Middle East. There's things domestically taking place here. There's a lot of risks from the U.S. to Middle East to Russia to China. Across the board, there are so many what they call black swan type events that could happen at this point. You have to be thinking smart. You need as many high probabilities into your favor as possible, whether you're a day trader, a swing trader, or anything in between, right? Even a position or long-term trader, which we're not covering as much of the long-term today. We're covering more day trading to swing trading, for this particular video, happy to do longer term, videos as well. But the thing is that what we're seeing here is there's so many great short-term opportunities where all the statistics kind of pop up into your favor. And that's why we mentioned that in the video the other day, that, hey, you know what, if we could break above this level, you got multiple reverse IRBs. I teach those all the time. Some of those tools, are only in WealthCharts that come with special kinds of alerts that you can go ahead and get to identify these things, see them, get a alerted to when they go ahead and fire off. I don't want to focus on just wealth charts right now, but I teach those strategies all the time, how to build these things, how to look for them. And, if you're not using them, you're kind of at a disadvantage from my perspective. And so that's why we take the time to do those daily videos and put that information out to you. So where we're at right now, is we did go ahead and we had that nice pullback into the rising support, the same supports I teach you all the time. Look where we fell. By the way, these aren't repainting, right? This is exactly where it fell to when it happened. Anybody that has wealth charts knows and can see that for yourself. It fell right to the bottom of the champion trend pack where you had the multiple zones of support, came right back up, formed this IRB. So the IRB tracker tracked it. Then it had another IRB, the IRB tracked it. Then you had a third one, the IRB tracker tracked it. And so, what's nice is you can just scan for these types of things, look for these things. And when you're putting all that together, speaking of which, what you can do if you're a little bit more of a swing trader and that you're looking for different types of opportunities, right? Not just in maybe you don't like trading the stock indices with options or, the underlying or anything like that. Okay, not a problem. There's other options for you. What you can do is go over here and take a look for different types of things. Go into what we call Wealth Scanner here and select the time frame that you like to go ahead and focus on. Are you more of a very short-term trader? You're a swing trader, position trader, investor? Select the different settings for you and some of the other things that apply to you. It's really nice what you can do. I got the Wealth Scanner compact version up right now. The full version has all sorts of other powerful tools, and both of those are free for you inside of WealthCharts. But the Wealth Charts, ultimate member there. But what you do is then you just look here through and scan and see, okay, this will help you identify things that are either rallying or things that are pulling back. It might be the next, takeoff, right? So you can see all sorts of different types of, trading ideas out there, right? And you can find these different types of things. Notice the IRBs all along the way, those little triangles that were in there to really help you kind of see them. Of course, you can change them to whatever color works best for you. But the point is that whether it's my ITP tools, whether it's the Champion Trend Pack tools, whether it's the ITP tools, the TRP tools, you can identify these different things firing off when you have the highest ranked by different indices, and you can look at so many different things, right? You can look at all symbols: Dow 15, Dow 20, Dow 30, ETFs, Forex, NASDAQ 100, Russell 1000, 2000, 3000, S&P 100, 400, 500, 600, the Toronto Stock Exchange, TSX, and the Ventures Exchange. So whatever you're looking for there, you can, you can also, create lists as well, create custom lists there to scan as well. It's really exciting what you can do to very quickly find some of the most interesting ideas and then apply some of these different concepts too. So as we go into next week here, remember the black swans in the back of your head. That's why statistically I want the highest probability type trades to go ahead and be firing off at that time, which is why, like when we were pulling back, resetting here, getting multiple buy signals, breaking above that, that's what was so exciting. And then, of course, you saw the subsequent explode, off of that area. Now we're pausing and we've got those potential divergences forming in here again. And you can see higher highs in price down here. You can see lower lows down in here. If I could draw properly, you can see it. And so we've got a decrease there in market energy at this point. So what I need to see for any sort of continuation is into next week. I don't want to just gap on Monday morning, then it starts breaking back down. I want to see some, if it does gap and needs kind of pull back and start to take back off would be ideal. I want to go ahead and also, this is real important, is keep in mind what's happening with that hourly chart here as well. Even if you're short-term swing trading with the options, where we're initially taking off here. Now, if you're holding for a week or 2 weeks, maybe you want to kick off with look at where the 2 or the 4 hour option or hourly charts are compared to like the daily. Of course, if you're really holding that long, you're probably looking at the daily and the weekly. But the thing is that right now, walking in the door, we knew Friday morning that it destroyed the chart. That high quality, gorgeous chart was destroyed on that economic data. That's when I told my mastermind groups, like, yep, ding dong, witch is dead. That's over. That you just killed that move. And so now you can get the whipsaws. And sure enough, that's exactly what we got. We got the whipsaws the rest of the day, right? So you can see it there very clearly. Up, down, right back. So just day. So you're not going to get that forward momentum. So I'm not going to be, placing a bet where, okay, we're breaking above this high and we're going to end up much higher up here for like a 0T DT option or a futures trade, etc. No, it's like, hey, wherever we end up starting on this thing, we may end up right back there all over again. Okay, so that's why, with this potential divergence here at this point, I need to see, are we going to, fail here and start to roll over, or are we going to break back above? But in the meantime, as this continues on, we're going to continue to look for those high probability setups, both on intraday and swing trade basis, that are presenting themselves. And that's why I just wanted to make sure. It's been a little bit, like I said, thanks again for all of you that did come to see me live in Philly and cheer me on. That was great. It was great winning that trading competition. It was great coming home to all of you here now. And so I hope this is making a lot of sense. Feel free to go ahead and continue to email in your questions, and we'll always try to help you with that, and looking forward to shooting more videos. And in the meantime, Ziad will of course keep videos going, and I talk with him about some of the things to put out in some of the videos, not all of them, but the IRB thing, for instance, was a very specific thing that I wanted to make sure got out there for you, and I'm glad I did, because then of course the market exploded there subsequently. So important things for you guys to know. And again, these are concepts that I can use in real money trading competitions, private trading, and that I teach, at like the upcoming summits, which we have one coming up here in the not too distant future. So great stuff. You guys have a great rest of the weekend. Study this video a few times. There's so many things I didn't cover in this video, because I could literally talk on just these charts alone for over an hour. But we'll just continue to build that training each and every day. So just look forward to seeing you in upcoming videos, and thanks for being the world's greatest students. Bye for now, gang.